Let's go, party people! Are you ready to rock? But in all serious now, my name is Memo, and we're here to discuss the MMR March Madness. For those of you who don't know, the March Madness for MMR is going to be seeds 1 through 8. We're going to discuss drummers, bassists, guitarists, and vocalists. First, we're going to do the drummers. Alright, so the first seed we have is Neil Peart, who is the drummer for Rush, versus the 8th seed, Stuart Copeland, who is the drummer for the Police. Now, I take Peart in this round just because Rush is one of the greatest bands of all time, and his drums were crazy. Alright, next we have Keith Moon versus Dave Grohl. Now, personally, I don't even know why Dave Grohl was in this discussion. Nirvana, they're terrible. Awful. The drums, awful. I love Dave Grohl as the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, but he's not a drummer. So I take Keith Moon easily, who, by the way, is the drummer for The Who. Alright, next we have John Bonham versus Alex Van Halen. John Bonham, drummer for Led Zeppelin. Alex Van Halen, obviously drummer for Van Halen. I take John Bonham. I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan, I have to. Alright, now we're doing Carter Beauford versus Lars Ulrich. Carter Beauford is the drummer for the Dave Matthews Band. Lars Ulrich is the drummer for Metallica. I think Lars Ulrich is extremely overrated. I love Metallica, so I'm going to go Carter Beauford here. So now we're going to go down to the bass for round 1. It is John Entwistle? I have no idea. John Entwistle versus Roger Waters. John Entwistle is the bassist for The Who, and Roger Waters is the bassist for... who knows? Taking Roger Waters all day. Next we have Geddy Lee versus Geezer Butler. Geddy Lee is the bassist for Rush, and Geezer Butler is the bassist for... again, I didn't write it down. I'm going Geezer Butler because when you have a name like Geezer, you always win. Alright, so Chris Squire versus Cliff Burton. Chris Squire is the bassist for the band called Yes, and Cliff Burton is the bassist for the band called Metallica. I'm going Cliff Burton. Obviously, Metallica's the greatest band of all time. People. Flea versus Paul McCartney. If you don't know who they are, get out. Go. Leave the video. I go Flea. Now, guitarist Jimi Hendrix versus Brian May. You all know who Jimi Hendrix is, I hope. Brian May is the guitarist for Queen. I go Jimmy. Pete Townsend versus Slash. Slash is, again, extremely overrated. I go Pete Townsend, guitarist for The Who. Jimmy Page versus Keith Richards. Jimmy Page is the guitarist for Led Zeppelin. Keith Richards is the guitarist for Stones. I go Jimmy Page. I love Zeppelin. Eddie Van Halen versus Joe Perry. Again, Van Halen, guitarist. It's in the name. You get it? Joe Perry, guitarist for Aerosmith. I go Eddie. Now we're going down to the frontmen. Freddie Mercury versus Bono. Freddie Mercury is lead singer of Queen. Bono, lead singer of U2. Freddie. Steven Tyler versus Roger Daltrey. Steven Tyler is the frontman for Aerosmith. Roger Daltrey, what the hell, is the singer for The Who. I go Tyler, so I never have to say that name again because I can't get it right. Next, Bruce Springsteen versus Eddie Vedder. I go Bruce, the slide. It's so cool. Dude, 66 years old, sliding across the stage. You have to. Now, Mick Jagger versus Robert Plant. I go Mick Jagger. Shocking, I know, but too good. Sorry, Robert. Don't hate me. Back to the top with drummers. Second round now. We got Neil Peart versus Keith Moon. I go Peart. John Bonham versus Carter Beauford. John Bonham. Because I don't really know who Carter Beauford is. Yes, he was a drummer for Dave Matthews Band, but I know one song. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. See? Next, go to bass. Roger Waters versus Geezer Butler. I'm sorry, Geezer, but the name can only get you so far. Roger Waters, you win. Cliff Burton versus Flea. I go Flea. He's all over the stage. The guy's a maniac. I love it. Now we're going back up to guitarist. Jimi Hendrix versus Pete Townsend. I go Jimi Hendrix over Townsend every time. Jimmy Page versus Eddie Van Halen. I go Jimmy Page. Love you. Love you, Led Zeppelin. Freddie Mercury versus Steven Tyler. I go Steven Tyler. I'm sorry, Freddie, you died. You're awesome. Your voice is great. But Steven Tyler gets so much pussy. You have to go with him. Bruce Springsteen versus Mick Jagger. I go Bruce. Again, the slide. And he's from Jersey. That's where I'm from. You gotta go in. I'm a homer. I get it. For the finals now. The Elite Eight. Whatever you want to call it. I don't care. It's the final four. So we got Neil Peart versus John Bottom. I go Peart again. Sorry, John. Bass, Flea versus Roger Waters. I go Flea. Jimi Hendrix versus Jimmy Page. I go Hendrix. And then Steven Tyler versus Bruce Springsteen. I go Steven Tyler. The man's a maniac. The greatest band ever assembled, according to this, is going to be on bass, Flea. On guitar, Jimi Hendrix. On drummer, Robert Peart. And the front man is going to be Steven Tyler. It sounds like a great party. I would love to be there. And that is all I have for you tonight, today, wherever the hell you are in the time zone. Comment and subscribe to Spring Loaded. I love it. And Memo on Mars, which isn't up yet, but it will be soon, I promise.